Today we're going to be doing a oil change on my 2016 GSXR 750. You're going to want to start the bike up and run it, get the oil nice and warm so that it comes out more quickly. Next, you're going to want to remove the oil fill cap. And the reason you do this is so that the oil drains out of the bike nice and smoothly instead of making a sloppy mess. I'm going to be using a Suzuki OEM oil filter, part number 16510-07J00. Now we're going to take a 17mm socket and we're going to loosen up this bolt and drain the oil out. It shouldn't take very much force at all unless somebody put it on far too tight on your last oil change. Make sure to grab your crush washer off here. It's recommended that you replace this every time. However, if you don't have one, you can inspect it, and if it still has some thickness to it, it can be reused safely. In case you're wondering what this is, it's called safety wire, and the purpose of it is to prevent this drain bolt from coming off in the event of a crash, and it's something that's required in intermediate or higher track days for most organizations. Take a moment to look at the magnet on your drain bolt. Make sure you don't have excessive metal shavings. If you do, it's an indication that you may have a problem that you need to have resolved. Once the drain of oil has been reduced to this drip, you're good to go. So you're going to take your crush washer and your drain bolt, and you're going to put the crush washer back onto the drain bolt, and then you're going to tighten it on here. Next, we're going to take our oil filter removal tool, put it on our wrench, and take the oil filter off. Again, if you're wondering what that is hanging there, that is another track day thing used to prevent the oil filter from coming off in the event of a crash, required for intermediate or higher track days. This should not take much force at all if done properly. However, people do tend to over tighten their oil filters. Be sure to coat the O-ring of your new oil filter here in some fresh new oil before replacing it. Be sure to clean the area so that you can be certain of any problems after you refill. Also, when oil hits the headers like this, it will cause some smoke to come off as the bike heats up. Don't worry about that. That's normal since those are in the way on this particular bike. Next, you should grab a torque wrench if you have one. I come from the school of thought where I torque wrench all of my critical components. For the oil filter, we're going to use 20 Newton meters. We've made our way back to the drain bolt, and we're going to again tighten this using the torque wrench with 23 Newton meters. I'm just going to take some contact cleaner and go over the surfaces one final time. To refill the oil now, you're going to want to grab your oil of choice. Mine is the Motul 300V 10W40. It's going to take 2.3 quarts. If you did not change your filter, it will take 2.6 if you did. I like to measure everything out rather than eyeballing and readjusting later on. And as you notice, the Motul is green, and not only that, it smells phenomenal. I know that sounds weird because it's oil, but I would use this as shampoo if I could. Now we're going to replace the drain cap and start the bike up to warm it back up. Lastly, on level ground, make sure that the oil is between the 2 bar indicators on the oil viewing window.